Hey there, and welcome. Today we are tackling a really big one, the common money habits that might be secretly keeping you from getting ahead financially. We're going to break it all down using some amazing insights from a seasoned financial pro. All right, let's just dive right in.
So, let me ask you this. Does this feel a little familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're doing well at your job, but when you look at your bank account, it just doesn't seem to reflect all that hard work. You know, it's a super common feeling, and it's frustrating, right? But the good news is, it's often totally fixable, just by changing a few key habits. And the advice we're diving into today isn't just some random opinion. It's coming from someone with a decade of real-world experience in finance. We're talking a qualified accountant who's also worked in investment banking. So this is the real deal, practical wisdom from the trenches.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with the single most important habit, then we'll get into mastering your spending. After that, we'll cover building a safety net, and then the fun part, growing your wealth. And don't worry, we'll wrap it all up with a really clear first step you can take literally today.
First up is the absolute cornerstone, the foundation of all of this. It sounds almost too simple, but this one concept, pay yourself first. Honestly, it can change everything. And it all boils down to this powerful idea. Think about it. Every time you pay your rent, buy groceries, or get a coffee, you're making someone else richer. This principle, which was made famous in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just flips that whole idea on its head. It says you should be the very first person who gets paid from your own paycheck. Okay, so take a look at this because it lays it all out so clearly. That column on the left, that's what most of us do by default. We get our paycheck, we pay all our bills, we spend on, well, life, and then we just kind of hope there's something left over to save. But look at the right. The only thing that changes is step 2. As soon as that money hits your account, a minimum of 10% is immediately moved to savings or investments. Everything else happens after that. It's a small change in order, but it makes a world of difference.
The psychology behind this is so powerful. You start treating your savings like it's a bill you have to pay, just like your rent or your phone bill. It's non-negotiable. And what's amazing is that your brain just adapts. You learn to live on what's left over. And you know what? You probably won't even miss that 10%. You're literally guaranteeing your future self gets taken care of first.
So once you've got that habit down, it flows right into our next big topic, really mastering your spending. This is all about playing good defense and getting total control over where your money is going.
Have you ever heard of this term, lifestyle inflation? Oh man, it is a sneaky trap. It's that thing where the more money you make, the more you end up spending. You get a raise? Boom, nicer car. A bonus hits your account? Hey, let's look at bigger apartments. It feels like you're succeeding, but it's actually a total disaster for building wealth because you never really get ahead.
So how do you actually fight this? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you just have to know your numbers, what's coming in and what's going out. You gotta track it. Second, you automate that pay yourself first rule we just talked about. And third, and this is key, you don't just set it and forget it. Take a look at your budget every 2 months and see if you need to make any adjustments.
Now let's have a quick, serious talk about debt. I want you to look at this number, 22%. That is the average interest rate on a credit card. If you're carrying a balance month to month, you are paying a massive, massive premium that just wipes out any points or cash back you might be getting. It's how they get rich. So the rule from our expert here is, well, it's brutally simple, but man, is it effective. When it comes to things you don't need, like new clothes, gadgets, that kind of stuff, if you can't pay for it in full with cash right now, you just don't buy it, period. That one little rule can save you from a world of financial hurt.
Okay, so you're paying yourself first, you've got a handle on your spending. What's next? Well, now it's time to build your safety net. This is the financial bedrock you'll build everything else on.
So our expert calls this a stockpile, which I kind of like, but really it's just an emergency fund. Think of it as your personal financial shock absorber. Your car breaks down, unexpected medical bill, job gets shaky. This fund is what lets you handle all that stuff without having to go into debt or completely wreck your long-term goals.
So the big question is, how much do you actually need in this thing? The goal, the target you're shooting for, is to have enough cash saved up to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. And by essential, I mean rent, food, utilities, the absolute must-haves.
And this is so important because the benefits here are huge. It's not really just about the money. It's about the incredible peace of mind it gives you.
When you're not constantly worried that one small emergency could wipe you out, it frees up so much mental energy to focus on bigger things, like advancing your career or, you guessed it, investing for the future.
All right, the foundation's built. Your safety net is in place. Now, we get to go on offense. This part is all about shifting your mindset from just saving money to actively making your money grow. This next idea is a huge mindset shift, and it is so important. There is a hard limit, a cap, on how much money you can save, right? You can only cut your expenses down so far, but earning and investing, there is no limit. The potential is literally infinite, and this is where true wealth building really happens.
And this is the part where I have to stress you can't wait. Every single year that you leave your extra savings just sitting in a regular bank account, it's actually losing a little bit of its buying power because of inflation. But even more important, you're missing out on the magic of compounding growth. When it comes to investing, time is, without a doubt, your most valuable asset.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it's a mix of a few key things. It means being proactive and asking for that pay raise you deserve. Maybe it's starting a small side hustle to bring in another stream of income. It's learning the basics of investing in a smart, diversified way. And yeah, it's also about understanding the tax rules so you can legally and efficiently keep more of the money you earn. Wow, okay, we have covered so much ground here, all the way from those foundational habits to the big growth strategies. So now, let's bring it all home and talk about how to turn all this knowledge into actual, immediate action. At the end of the day, there's no magic bullet for financial freedom, right? It's really about making a series of smart, deliberate shifts in how you think about money. It's about making yourself financial priority number one. It's knowing your cash flow inside and out, building that buffer for security and peace of mind, and remembering that you need to play both defense and offense, saving and earning. And that brings us to our final question, and this one is for you. This isn't just a recap, it's a challenge. I want you to look at your spending right now. What is one thing, just one single thing that you can cut back on this month so you can start funding that Pay Yourself First account? Because that journey we've been talking about, it all starts with that one small, powerful decision.